The Phoenix Suns were supposed to be a super team with Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, and Bradley Beal. 3 stars, 1 goal in NBA championship. But instead of dominating, they've underperformed, and now change is coming. Kevin Durant is expected to be traded this offseason, and the Suns are at a crossroads. But one thing is clear, Devin Booker isn't leaving. He's made it known that he wants to be a Phoenix Sun for life. So today I'm taking control of the Phoenix Suns and rebuilding around their franchise star, Devin Booker. Can I build a championship team around Devin Booker before it's too late? Let's find out. At the moment of this recording, the Phoenix Suns are the 11th seed, which means they're not even a play-in team at the moment. They have a win-loss record of 35 wins and 41 losses, which is pretty bad compared to how they did last season. This offseason, we're going to be pulling off a bunch of trades to rebuild this team around Devin Booker. We're going to be moving on from Kevin Durant. We're going to try pulling off a trade for Bradley Beal and see what we can get in return. Now let's simulate until the end of this season and see if we're going to be making the playoffs or not. Also, if you guys do enjoy 2K rebuilds, please make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video and subscribe for more. This is what our rotation will be looking like for the last few games left of this season. Our starting lineup is going to include Devin Booker, Bradley Beal, Ryan Dunn, Kevin Durant, and Nick Richards. And then off the bench we have Grayson Allen, Tyus Jones, Royce O'Neal, and Mason Plumlee, so we are going to be running a 9-man rotation. Now let's go ahead and simulate until the end of this season. At the end of season number 1, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander wins MVP, Stephon Castle wins Rookie of the Year, Scoot Henderson wins 6th Player of the Year, Giannis Defensive Player, Christian Brown wins Most Improved, Trey wins Clutch Player, Mark Coach of the Year, and OKC wins Executive of the Year. I don't think we're going to have any All-NBA selections, but let's see if we do. So we do get Kevin Durant on All-NBA 3rd team. And do we get anyone here? No, we do not. We don't get Ryan Dunn on All-Rookie team, which is totally alright. We did end up as a play-in team. We ended the season with 40 wins and 42 losses, and we are currently the number 9 seed. For the first game of the play-in tournament, we're going to be taking on the Dallas Mavericks, who obviously have Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, Marshall, Anthony Davis, and Lively. So this is going to be a tough matchup here. Let's see what happens. And we do end up beating the Dallas Mavericks, so we eliminated them, but now we also got to beat the Memphis Grizzlies in order to make the playoffs. The Grizzlies have the same team that they have in real life. Let's see what happens here, simulate through game, and we lose. So we don't make the playoffs, which is pretty embarrassing, especially since we had ourselves a big 3. But let's see who goes on to win the championship, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Western Conference Finals MVP, Brunson, Eastern Conference, the Thunder versus the Knicks, and the OKC Thunder go on to win a championship with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander winning Finals MVP. In this offseason, we definitely gotta pull off some big trades. We are going to be trading away Kevin Durant. I'm gonna look for some trades for Beal and see what we could do to upgrade our roster. I don't think we're gonna be having ourselves a lottery pick. I'm pretty sure the Phoenix Suns don't have their own first round pick, and we do not. The Houston Rockets have it. It's projected to go 14. We won't be getting ourselves that pick, but hopefully we have a different first round pick, and it looks like we won't be having a... Okay, so we do end up with a 29th overall pick, which is better than nothing, I mean. Let's see if we got any second rounders. So yeah, we ended up with a 29th overall pick and a second round pick, 25th. I am going to be firing our head coach Mike Budenholzer. I don't think he's been doing a good job at all with the Phoenix Suns. So we're going to be upgrading our head coach position as well. There's not many good head coaches this off season that we can get on our team, so we're going to hold off on getting ourselves a new head coach until the next off season, where we can get ourselves somebody like Greg Popovich, Joe Mazzulla, and so on and so on. We're going to start off this off-season by getting ourselves a new big man in Mitchell Robinson, and we also get ourselves a backup point guard in Tyler Kolek. Kolek ends up progressing a ton in 2K simulation, so having him as our backup point guard behind Devin Booker will be amazing. To To make this trade happen, we have to trade away Nick Richards, Cody Martin, and our second round pick, which is fantastic for us. So let's go ahead and pull off this trade. Just like that, we got Mitchell Robinson and Kolek. Now it's time for the NBA draft, where we do have one first round pick. Let's see who the top 3 picks here are going to be. The San Antonio Spurs get another first overall pick after getting themselves Wemby, which is insane, and they get Cooper Flagg to pair up with Victor Wembanyama. That's going to be an insane duo. The Trailblazers have the second overall pick and they take Ace Bailey. The Magic take Dylan Harper. Now let's sim to our pick and see who we're going to be selecting with the 29th overall pick. We don't have many good options. We do have 2 players who have a C overall. Let's see what their ceiling is. So we can't see what these players' ceiling is. I'm not sure who we're going to be selecting. I believe I've taken Michael Ruzic before and he ends up progressing a ton. With the 29th overall pick, we're going to be selecting Dink Pate. He's a 3-and-D shooting guard, but we can move his position over to being a small forward where his overall will probably be going up. So let's go ahead and select him with the 29th overall pick, and that's going to be it for the NBA draft. He is a 69 overall, but I'm pretty sure if we move his position to small forward, he should go up to a 70 overall or higher. Team player options. Micic, we don't need on our team. He's an $8 million salary, so let's go ahead and decline that. Qualifying offers, we don't really need to bring back anyone on our team, which is kind of good. Let's see if there's any bird rights here. And we can bring back Mason Plumlee. We don't really need him, so I'm going to look around and see who we could bring on our team. Hopefully there's some good players that we could sign. And we're also going to be trading away Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant. The Washington Wizards waived Justin Champagnie, which means we can sign him for fairly cheap. He's a good defender, good 3-point shooter, and of course we're going to be bringing him on our team, and he should be accepting that contract, which he will. 2 years, $5 million, and on the 3rd year I believe we have a team option. A lot of players, young players, were waived by their former teams, and now they're free agents, which means we can sign them for fairly cheap. One of them being Bryce Sensenbog, I believe that's how you pronounce his last name. I gave him an offer. Tristan da Silva is also here, and the same with Jalen Wilson. We're also going to try signing Tristan da Silva for only $3.8 million a year, and we can't sign him. Tristan da Silva has been waived and may only be re-signed to his current value, so we can't re-sign Tristan da Silva, but let's go ahead and give an offer to Jalen Wilson. He ends up progressing a ton in 2K Simulation, and there was another player here, Jamal Sheed. We're also going to be signing him. He has a 2-year contract, team option on the 2nd year, and all 3 of those players should sign, which means we got some pretty good players on really cheap contracts. Now it's time to trade away Bradley Beal and Kevin Durant. The Memphis Grizzlies are offering us Desmond Bane and a 2nd round pick for Bradley Beal and a 1st round pick. So let's see if we can pull this trade off here with the Memphis Grizzlies. Hopefully Bradley Beal doesn't waive his no trade clause, and he doesn't, which means we got ourselves Desmond Bane as our brand new starting shooting guard. So for trading away Kevin Durant, we are going to need a power forward in return, and I love this trade here with the Indiana Pacers where we get ourselves Pascal Siakam and we get Obi Toppin, who could be our 6th man. An amazing offensive player who could come off the bench, provide us with 10 to 15 points per game, and Pascal Siakam does it all literally. He could play make, defend, rebound, and score. So we're going to be pulling this trade off here with the Indiana Pacers where we send them Kevin Durant for Pascal Siakam and Obi Toppin. And now we're going to be pulling off this one last trade for this offseason with the Cleveland Cavaliers where we get ourselves DeAndre Hunter to be our brand new starting small forward. We didn't really have a good small forward at the moment except for Ryan Dunn, but he is a 76 overall. So getting ourselves someone like DeAndre Hunter will definitely push us in the direction of winning a championship. So let's go ahead and pull this trade off. Now we're ready for this up and coming season. Here we are at the start of this season with our brand new rotation. Our starting lineup is going to include Devin Booker, Desmond Bane, DeAndre Hunter, Pascal Siakam, and Mitchell Robinson. And then off the bench, we're going to have Obi Toppin, Ryan Dunn, Grayson Allen, Tyler Kolek, and Mason Plumlee. In my opinion, we're championship contenders, but let's see what happens here. Let's simulate the first few games and see how we do. So out of the first 3 games, we end up winning 2 of them, and then against the Milwaukee Bucks, we scored 157 points. Devin Booker put up 43 points, 37 from Desmond Bane. Ryan Dunn had 15, Toppin had 14, Mitchell Robinson had a double-double. Pascal Siakam did struggle, but I'm pretty sure once the chemistry is fixed, we'll be playing a lot better. Pascal Siakam in his Phoenix Suns debut had 22 points, Hunter had 21, Robinson had 18 points and 16 rebounds. Obi Toppin had 13 points. And now I'm going to be simulating until the end of this season, but of course, if there's trades to be made, I'll stop at the trade deadline to show y'all. I'm stopped here at the trade deadline, and we're not going to be pulling off many trades, but we are going to be trading for a better backup center. We're going to be upgrading that backup center position with Goga Batatse. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but we'll just call him Goga for now. So we're going to be pulling off this trade here with our Orlando Magic, where we send them Kevon Looney and Mason Plumlee for Goga. And just like that, we got a new backup center, and now we'll be simulating until the end of this season. I was not planning on pulling off any more trades this trade deadline, but this trade is just too good to pass up on. We're going to be trading Obi Toppin and Justin Champagnie to the Denver Nuggets for Aaron Gordon, who's going to be that perfect backup power forward to have for us coming off of the bench. He's shooting nearly 40% from the 3-point line, 50% from the field. Justin Champagnie hasn't played a single minute for us. I did move his position from power forward to small forward, that way he goes up in overall. And now we can pull this trade off and get ourselves Aaron Gordon. Obi Toppin has been good offensively, but his 3-point shot has been horrible. Getting Aaron Gordon will definitely help with that, and he's also the better defender. So that's it for trades this trade deadline. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama wins MVP, Ace Bailey wins Rookie of the Year, Anthony Simons 6th player, Wemby also wins Defensive Player, Matej Buzelis Most Improved, Shea wins Clutch Player of the Year, Jason Kidd Coach, and they also win Executive of the Year. Let's see if we get any All-NBA selections. We do get Devin Booker on All-NBA 3rd team, and we don't get anyone on All-Defensive team or on All-Rookie team. But this season, we were a lot better than the previous. We ended up as the number 4 seed, winning 53 games and losing only 29. In round number 1, we got ourselves a pretty tough matchup here. We're going to be facing the OKC Thunder. This sucks, but hopefully we can defeat them. Let me show you guys our player stats before we do get into the playoffs. So our leading scorer was Devin Booker, averaging 27 points per game, 4 rebounds, 7.5 assists, nearly shooting 50-40-90. Then we had Desmond Bane, who played absolutely amazing, averaging 21 points per game, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, shooting 40% from the 3-point line. Pascal Siakam was averaging 16 points per game, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. He struggled from the 3-point line. He was shooting 34% from the 3-point line compared to the previous season where he was shooting 39%. 13 a night from DeAndre Hunter, 13 a night from Aaron Gordon, 10 from Grayson Allen, and then the rest of the team. Goga has been absolutely amazing for us. We are starting Goga over Mitchell Robinson at the moment, and it's been going fairly well. But now let's fix up the player minutes and jump right into the playoffs. Player minutes have been fixed. It's time to start simulating against the OKC Thunder. Game number 1 is a win for us. Booker drops 35 points, 10 assists, Desmond Bane with 27 points. Game number 2 is also a win for us. This time Pascal Siakam has a double-double, 25 points, 11 rebounds, and Aaron Gordon off the bench with 24 points. Aaron Gordon is the best 6th man we could have asked for. Booker had 22 points. Game number 3 is a loss for us. Shea and Holmgren end up defeating us there. Desmond Bane had a double-double, but we still fell short. Game number 4 is a win, and we're up 3-1. Let's go. Devin Booker with 38 points, 12 assists, 34 points from Bane, 21 from DeAndre Hunter, and we scored 154 points in that game. And we gentlemen sweep the OKC Thunder. Let's go. I was not expecting this series to be as easy as this, but clearly it was. Booker had 28, Hunter had 28, Bane had 20, Pascal Siakam had 14 points, 14 rebounds, and 8 assists. He's struggling from the field, but he is playing good all around in general, but he is struggling offensively. And now we're in the second round. We're going to be taking on the number 1 seed, the Dallas Mavericks, who have Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, Marshall, AD, and Daniel Gafford, and their bench is looking pretty good as well. Let's see what happens here. Game number 1 is a loss for us. Kyrie drops 40 points on us. Pascal had a double-double, but we did fall short. Game 2 is also a loss for us. Okay, so this is where we may need to come up with a defensive coach game plan. I switched up our rotation a little bit. We're going to put Aaron Gordon into our starting lineup at the small forward position and see how things go. He's a good defender and he's been playing amazing offense, as you guys can see from his shooting splits. So let's see if we can win game 3, which we do not. Now we're down 3-0, so this series is pretty much over. We do win game 4, but we lose in 5. The Dallas Mavericks are unstoppable. I was not expecting the Mavericks to be harder than the OKC Thunder were to defeat. Let's see who goes on to win the championship. So the Mavericks versus the Celtics. Kyrie Irving is going up against his former team, and Kyrie gets revenge, winning Finals MVP and a championship. In this offseason, we are going to be switching our head coach. We may also make some changes to our rotation. We're going to have to see what we can do to upgrade our roster. I ended up firing our head coach, and what sucks is we don't even have enough salary to give out to head coaches. As you guys can see, the most money we can hand out is $7.8 million. And I'm not sure if coaches like Joe Mazzulla will accept this offer, but we will offer it anyways. Hopefully they do accept. Jason Kidd will also throw an offer too. We threw one to Joe Mazzulla. Nick Nurse is also here. Let's go ahead and give him one. Ty Lue is here. We'll give him an offer. And then in case, we'll also throw Michael Stauffer an offer in case the other coaches do decline. 3 of the head coaches are going to be declining, but hopefully we can get one. And we do end up with Ty Lue, which is an amazing get for our team. I think that he'll help us a ton. He's definitely going to be helping us win a lot more games than the last head coach. For team player options, we're going to be picking up the team option on Ryan Dunn and Bryce Sensabaugh. Of course, Ryan Dunn has been a pretty decent player for us off the bench, so we're going to keep him around for now. But qualifying offers, we don't have to give anyone a qualifying offer, which is pretty good. Let's see if there's anyone we need to re-sign in free agency, and there won't be any player here on bird rights, which is really good for us. But we can sign a player for around $5 million. And with that $5 million, we can get a player like Jose Alvarado, who would be an amazing backup point guard to have behind Devin Booker. He's a good 3-point shooter, good defender, so we're going to see who we can acquire here in free agency. And I'm also going to be pulling off a pretty big trade this off season. This past season that just went by, we were good offensively, but we had one of the worst defensive ratings in the entire NBA. So we definitely need to upgrade our defense as much as we can. I am going to be trading a few players from a roster that won't be a part of our rotation the next few seasons. One of them is going to be this guy here. I don't know how to pronounce that name, but we'll call him Vit. We're going to be trading him for a first round pick with the Atlanta Hawks, Milwaukee's swap best. We get ourselves a first round pick that we can use in the future for some trades. We may also trade Dink Pate or Bryce Sensabaugh. I don't think they're going to be a part of our rotation since we already have DeAndre Hunter and Ryan Dunn for our small forward rotation, and our wing rotations are perfectly fine at the moment. So I'm going to see if we can acquire ourselves some more first round picks. Like this trade here, we're going to pull off with the Chicago Bulls. We send them Douglas Anderson, the rookie we just drafted, for a first round pick unprotected. And now in free agency, I am going to go ahead and give Jose Alvarado an offer. I would love for him to be our backup point guard. He's an amazing defender, a good offensive player. and he should accept that contract. I think he's the best option here for point guards. Malcolm Brogdon is also pretty good in 2K simulation, but he is 33 years old, which means he'll probably be regressing. Chris Dunn's a good defender, but our shooting guard rotation is basically already complete. We could sign Andre Drummond to be our third center in case we need him come playoff time for rebounding. We'll give him a 1-year minimum contract. And both of those players should accept, so Jose Alvarado accepts and so does Andre Drummond. Let's go. And now I'm going to be pulling off one of the biggest trades for this video. This here is a trade we're going to be pulling off with the Memphis Grizzlies that's going to definitely make our defense a lot better and possibly even our offense. We're going to be trading away Pascal Siakam and Bryce Sensabaugh for Jaren Jackson Jr. and Scottie Pippen Jr. Jaren Jackson Jr. is one of the best defenders in the league, and having him in our starting lineup is definitely going to make our defense a lot better than it already was. Pascal Siakam has been struggling from the three-point line ever since he's joined our team. That's also another reason we're going to be trading him away, but the biggest reason for getting Jaren Jackson Jr. is his defense. On top of his defense, he can still average around 20 points per game. So let's go ahead and pull this trade off. We also get ourselves Scottie Pippen Jr. I'm not sure if we're going to be keeping him on our roster or we're going to trade him this offseason. We don't really need Scottie Pippen Jr. since we already have ourselves Jose Alvarado and Tyler Kolek as our backup point guards. Another player that gave us a negative impact in estimated wins added was DeAndre Hunter, but he played really good in the regular season, so I'm not sure how he's giving us a negative impact. I do want to keep him around at least until the trade deadline and see how he continues playing. If he's good, obviously we'll keep him, but if he's struggling and still giving us a negative impact, we may move on from him and get ourselves a new small forward. Alrighty, we're here at the start of this season. We have ourselves a new head coach and we have ourselves a new rotation. We're going to be running a 10-man rotation to start off this season. Here's our starting lineup. We have Devin Booker, Desmond Bane, DeAndre Hunter, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Goga at the center position. Then off the bench, we're going to have Aaron Gordon, Mitchell Robinson, Ryan Dunn, Tyler Kolek, and Grayson Allen. Kolek ended up progressing to an 81 overall, which I was not expecting. So now he's our backup point guard over Jose Alvarado, since his overall is higher than Jose Alvarado, as you guys can see. But I believe we can go out there and win a championship. We upgraded our roster a ton. Let's see how the first few games go for our new roster. Game 1 is a loss. We do win game number 2 and we also lose game 3. But the game we did win, Booker had 28, Jaren Jackson Jr. had a double-double. But of course, the chemistry still needs to be built. We just got ourselves a completely new rotation, a new starting lineup, and a new head coach. So once the chemistry is built, I'm pretty sure we'll be winning a lot more games. Now I'll be simulating until the trade deadline and see if we have any moves to make to our roster. I'm stopped here at the trade deadline and there's 2 trades we're going to be pulling off this season. One of the trades is we're going to be targeting Zubac from the Los Angeles Clippers to be our brand new starting center. I think he would be the best big man to have on our team. He would definitely push us in the direction of winning a championship. So we're going to try pulling off this trade here with the LA Clippers where we send them Mitchell Robinson, Dink Pate for Zubac, and Tom Simpson. Let's see what they say for this trade, and they do decline, but this is where our first round picks will come in handy. We have a boatload of first round picks that we can include in this trade. 1 first round pick, they still decline. 2 first rounders, they still decline. 3 first round picks, gets it done, and now we got ourselves Zubac as our new big man. And the next notable trade we're going to be pulling off is for Deni Avdija to be our new starting small forward. To make this trade happen, we're going to be sending away DeAndre Hunter, a first round pick for Deni Avdija, and Ben Simmons. We also have to take on Ben Simmons' contract in order to make this trade work, but that's alright because Deni Avdija is worth it. He's shooting nearly 50, 40, 80. He's a good defender, amazing playmaker, good rebounder, and a good offensive player. So let's go ahead and pull this trade off and I'll show you guys what our new lineup is going to be looking like. For the second half of this season, this is going to be our new rotation. We have Devin Booker in our starting lineup, Desmond Bane, Denny Avdija, Jaren Jackson Jr., and our brand new starting center, Zubac. Now off the bench, we're going to have Aaron Gordon, Goga's going to be coming off the bench, Tyler Kolek, and Ryan Dunn. Another bonus of getting Avdija is his contract is pretty small. He's on a really good contract. I believe we're paying him around $15 million a year, less than $15 million a year. Next season, we only have to pay him $12 million, which is a really good contract for a player of Denny Avdija's caliber. And now let's start simulating until the end of this season and see how things go. At the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama wins MVP. Devin Booker was in the race to winning MVP. He was second place in the race of winning MVP, right behind Wemby, which is pretty insane because I've never seen Devin Booker win MVP in 2K simulation. So that would be pretty cool if we were able to win him an MVP. Cam Boozer wins Rookie of the Year. And the OKC Thunder just keep on getting better. They got themselves Cam Boozer on their team now. Josh Giddey, 6th Player of the Year. Wemby also wins Defensive Player. Stephon Castle wins Most Improved, averaging 20 points per game. He's with the Atlanta Hawks. Paulo wins Clutch Player of the Year. Chris Finch, Coach of the Year. And they also win Executive. I'm surprised that we didn't win Coach of the Year or Executive of the Year. And I'll show you guys why I'm surprised here in a second. So Devin Booker ends up on All-NBA second team. And that's it for All-NBA selections. We don't get anyone on All-Defensive team or All-Rookie team. But we were the number 2 seed this time around, and we had a way better record than the previous season. We ended the season with 66 wins and only 16 losses. The Minnesota Timberwolves won 67 games, so that team is clearly going to be a problem for us in the playoffs. They got themselves Scoot Henderson paired up with Anthony Edwards. Oh god. But let me show you guys the player stats before we get into the playoffs. So our leading scorer was Devin Booker, averaging 28 points per game, a career high 9 assists per game, and the first time in his career shooting 50, 40, 90. Amazing season from Devin Booker. 19 points per game from Desmond Bane, while shooting 41% from the 3-point line. We had Jaren Jackson Jr. 16 points per game. He did struggle from the 3-point line, but he was good all around regardless. Aaron Gordon was absolutely amazing. He definitely should have won 6th Player of the Year. As you guys can see, his stats were amazing off the bench as our 6th man. 14 a night from Denny Avdija, way better get for our team than Hunter was. Even though Hunter wasn't a bad player at all, he wasn't really playing winning basketball, whereas Denny Avdija is. 10 a night from Zubac, as well as 11 rebounds. And now it's time to get into the playoffs. We're going up against the Denver Nuggets in round 1. I fixed up the player minutes, and now let's see if we can defeat the Denver Nuggets. They have Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Ayo Dosunmu. They got themselves Obi Toppin. In the trade we pulled off with them, I'm pretty sure, for Aaron Gordon. And yeah, they've kept him ever since. They have Jokic, Michael Porter Jr., Justin Champagnie, Ryan Rollins. I forgot that we also gave up Justin Champagnie, so this team is not a bad team at all. I don't know how they're the 7th seed, but they are. Game number 1 is a win for us. Booker drops 32 points, 31 from Bane, 15 from the former Denver Nugget player Aaron Gordon. He's out for revenge and hopefully he can get it. Game 2 is also a win for us. Jaren Jackson Jr. with 37 points, Booker with a double-double, Gordon with 21. Game 3 is also a win for us, and we sweep the Denver Nuggets. Let's go. I was not expecting this series to be as easy as it was, but Jaren Jackson Jr. is balling out, averaging amazing numbers on 6-7, basically 70, 40, 100. That's amazing. Now we're in round 2, where we take on the San Antonio Spurs. This is going to be a tough challenge. This team is stacked. They also got themselves Cooper Flagg, the 2025 first overall pick, paired up with the 2023 first overall pick. They have Jabari Smith Jr., De'Aaron Fox, and Malik Monk. So let's see what happens here. Game number 1 is a win for us. Booker drops a 35-point double-double. Game number 2 is also a win for us. Booker with 35, Bane with 27, Gordon with 23. Who had a triple-double? It was Denny Avdia with the triple-double. Game number 3 is a loss for us. Bane had 27, but we did fall short. We win game 4. Let's go. Jaren Jackson Jr. dropped 30 points, 22 from Bane. And we gentlemen sweep the San Antonio Spurs. We are in the conference finals and we're going to be taking on the number 1 seed, the Minnesota Timberwolves. This team is scary. They have Scoot Henderson, Anthony Edwards, Jaden McDaniels was at 88 overall, Tari Eason was at 86 overall, Rudy Gobert, Shaedon Sharpe. I don't know how they got Shaedon Sharpe and Scoot Henderson. Not sure which trade they would have pulled off to get both of those players. Maybe they traded Julius Randle. That's what it looks like happened here. They also have Jalen Williams and Malik Beasley, so this team is stacked. No wonder they were the number 1 seed. Let's see what happens here. Game number 1 is a win for us. Let's go. Booker drops 40 points, Bane with 19, Zubac with a double-double. Game number 2 is a loss for us. Anthony Edwards and Scoot Henderson are way too good. Bane had 34, Booker had 33-point double-double, but our defense was not good at all. Hopefully we can play good here in game 3, and we do not. Bane had 36, Zubac had a double-double, but we still fell short. The duo of Anthony Edwards and Scoot Henderson is way too overpowered. I think we're going to have to come up with a defensive coach game plan before we advance to the next game, because they beat us by 34 points in that game. So I came up with a little switch in our rotation. We're going to be starting Aaron Gordon at the small forward position, and that's because Denny Avdia has been struggling a ton. He's shooting 34% from the field, so we did push him over to the bench as our 6th man for Aaron Gordon. And we also took out Tyler Kolek out of our rotation. He's also been playing pretty horrible, so Jose Alvarado will be subbing those 10 minutes for him. And I came up with a defensive coach game plan. Let's see if that's going to help us get a win here for game 4. And we do end up tying up the series, thank God. Devin Booker had 33 points. Jackson had the 23-point double-double. Denny Avdia with 20 points. Let's go. 19 from Bane, 16 from Gordon. Hopefully we can go up 3-2, and we do not. We end up falling short. Booker played amazing, so did Gordon. Bane, Zubac. I am going to change up some of our player shot tendencies of Dia. I'm going to want him taking a little bit less shots. He's shooting 4 of 14. Shouldn't be attempting 14 shots if you're shooting that bad. So I'm going to change up the shot tendencies before we advance to game 6. I changed up the player shot tendencies a little bit. Let's see if that's going to help us here tie up this series. We do have home court advantage for this game. We start off really strong. Let's go. And it looks like we are going to be tying up the series. That's what I'm talking about. Desmond Bane had 37 points. Booker had 23. 22 from Jaren Jackson Jr. Zubac played amazing. I did hire Zubac's shot tendency because he's been playing amazing, shooting 61% from the field. I also hired Aaron Gordon's shot tendency. He's been shooting 50, 40, 70 throughout the regular season and the playoffs. Whereas Avdia is still struggling. He basically fouled out in 19 minutes. And our defense on Scoot Henderson was absolutely amazing. And the same as Anthony Edwards. Okay, we held him to 4 of 12 shooting. The 6 of 20 for Scoot Henderson. And now it's a game where we win or we go home. Game number 7. Hopefully we can advance to the NBA Finals. The Timberwolves do have home court advantage for this game, but we do start off strong. And we're going to the NBA Finals. In the first half, I kind of thought we may lose this, but in the second half, we absolutely dominated and outscoring them by nearly 20 points in the fourth quarter. Devin Booker had 28 points, Jackson had 22, Bane with 15, Avdia with 15, Gordon with 11. And our defense on Edwards and Scoot Henderson, they still played absolutely amazing, but our defense on the rest of their team was amazing. Devin Booker wins Western Conference Finals MVP, averaging 28 points per game and 9 assists. Karl Anthony Towns wins Eastern Conference Finals MVP, averaging 31 points per game and 11 rebounds. And now we're going to be taking on the New York Knicks. And this team is no joke. They have Jalen Brunson, Miles McBride, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, and Karl Anthony Towns. And off the bench, they have Devin Carter, Kawhi Pete, CJ McCollum, and Malcolm Brogdon. Let's see what happens here. Let's simulate game 1. We do end up winning game number 1, where Booker puts up 33 points, Desmond Bane 31, Zubac with 21. That's why we hired Zubac's shot tendency. Game number 2 is also a win for us. Booker drops 25 points, Bane with 20, Jackson with 19, Aaron Gordon with 15. Game 3 is a loss for us. Brunson and Cat do end up defeating us there. Bane had 24, Booker had 19, Jackson with 15. Jackson's playing good defense and amazing offense, but he is still struggling from the 3-point line, as you guys can see. Hopefully he can start hitting his shots. Let's see what happens here in game number 4, and we do end up winning, which puts us up 3-1. Bane drops 32 points, Devin Booker drops 31 points, 5 boards, and 15 assists, as well as 4 steals. Jackson with 25, 15 from Gordon. Perhaps we should have been starting Aaron Gordon at that small forward position all season long, because he's been doing absolutely amazing at the small forward position. Avdija was good in the regular season, but he's struggling offensively in the playoffs. He is shooting good from the 3-point line, his playmaking's amazing, his defense is good, and so is his rebounding. It's just his shooting from the field that's not good. And let's see if we can gentleman sweep the New York Knicks. And we do not gentleman sweep them. They end up defeating us here in game 5. But can we beat them in 6? And that's exactly what we do. And just like that, your Phoenix Suns are the 2027 NBA champions, with Devin Booker winning Finals MVP, averaging 28 points per game, 4 boards, 10 assists, 2 steals, and half a block, shooting 50, 40, 100. Now let me show you guys the player stats before we end off this video. So the leading scorer for the playoffs on our team was Devin Booker, averaging 27 points per game throughout the 22 games we played. He had 3.5 rebounds, 9 assists, 1.5 steal on amazing efficiency. And then we had the number 2 scoring option, which was Desmond Bane. In my opinion, Bane was a perfect number 2 scoring option to have on our team beside Devin Booker. He's a good defender, and he's also an amazing 3-point shooter. He's basically been a 40% 3-point shooter throughout his whole career. With 23 points per game, shooting 50, 40, 85. And then Jaren Jackson Jr., the defensive anchor of our team, 18 points per game, 6 boards, 1.5 steal, and 2 blocks per game. So he was nearly averaging 3.5 stocks per game. Aaron Gordon, the best 6-man we could have wished for, turned small forward player for us throughout the second half of the playoffs, averaging 14 points per game, shooting 55, 41, 70. 11.5 from Zubac, 11 from Deni Avdija, who kind of struggled from the field. Well, he did struggle from the field, but his 3-point shooting was amazing. Playmaking, rebounding, defense was amazing. Goga was a good backup center. Now let me show you guys the player stats for the NBA Finals. So Devin Booker averaged 28 points per game, 4 rebounds, 10 assists. So he was averaging a double-double, 2 steals as well on amazing efficiency. And Desmond Bane was averaging 25 points per game. That's something I didn't know. He was shooting 55% from the field, 18 points per game from Jaren Jackson Jr., as well as 3 stocks per game, 14 a night from Gordon, 13 a night from Zubac, 12 from Deni Avdija, and then the rest of this team. That's it for this video. We ended up winning the Phoenix Suns and Devin Booker his first championship. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure to drop a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you're new. We're on the road to 200 subscribers, so I would appreciate if you guys could hit that subscribe button for more 2K rebuilds. And that's it for this video. Until next time, it's your boy Dragon, and I'm out. Peace.